Okay, to continue with the session, that two sessions have already been done. The third session, it is talking about something connected with ratting amongst the stars of India, whether it was initially connected with Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan's team, and then spread itself to Tamil Nadu and to Andhra Pradesh, to big stars like NTR. Ratting at their homes while shape shifting, even a doctor, ATS officer, somebody connected with the RSS, all of them have been attacked. You just had to have some money, you had to have a position. Their PAN cards have been used, misused. Their ITR in a previous read says that there are many people who have unceremoniously passed on, including IGs, DGPs, and in one read we have got that SLO, the skin or the ET of an ED. It's called an enforcement directorate. He has gone and given wrong things to people, just wearing the ego and the ET. So he has confused lots of things. If you just go into the readings, today's date is the 15th of June 2025, right? So 15th of June 2025, if you just start looking at my readings from probably you start June first week, second week, no, first week I think, or start June 2025, you start looking at the readings, you will see that it is bringing out the culprits in black and white. There is a Pakistani spy who has shapeshifted for Mr. Kiran Merchant, who the reading says was murdered in 2009 itself. Salman Khan, the real star, DNA related womb born from Salma Khan, father being Salim Khan. He also exited 2009. So everything is pointing as there was an overhaul of many good people, stealth mode being removed. That was the start of it, and then after that it has become more and more and more, and frankly the confusion is too much. The power moved into the hands of the criminal. So it is 15, 16, 17 years since, and they have done a lot of damage in lots of places. So you just need to be wise into it, is what my reading is saying. NTR has to be very, very, very careful. Like him, all the other stars. नहीं, हमको कुछ बोलना नहीं है. ये जो अफ्रीका के जो लोग हैं साउथ इंडिया में फॉर श्योर ट्राई करेंगे क्रिस्प्रिंग करके घुसने के लिए. You have to have, I say you keep, I don't know, you just have to be very careful. That's all I'm saying. And nothing, you can make out. You always remember one thing. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu has its own flavor, but it's existing since the 70s. So if you feel something little out or untoward, all you need to do is remember the place over the years. They are trying to bring confusion to you by saying, oh, times have changed. So they're trying to modernize it with some things they have already done in the 90s in Bombay. Modernization एक चीज़ होता है, लेकिन core values कभी change नहीं होता है. Always remember this. So in your interactions, just remember what I am telling you. He wants to crank my neck. He has brought something to the right side, below the ear, and at the crack of the neck. Okay, he's just brought that over there. But I don't care. What I have to say, I will say, because you guys are the last, literally the last on the plate, it seems, where it comes to big metros. They're there for the money, they're there. I don't want to say it. I'm just saying, if we just clock it, first it is 12, 14, 12, 20, we are starting the session. 15th of June 2025. It is, okay, Sunday. Again, it's the Venus Sun combination with Guru. So, why am I talking like this? Because I am referring to there are plenty of replicas that have been infused into the society. Anyone supporting this shit, almost immediately you should understand is a replica. And the who's who have been replaced. Those are the bones thrown in Saudi, that is Mecca, Medina, which, like India, a place of spirituality, high levels, has been attacked whether you realize it or not. Only because of its spiritual connect, high levels of spirituality. Roman Church must have happened way before. These are the three key centers that have been attacked. The most recent ones in the last 10 years is, I think, Mecca, Medina, and India has been in making. They want to move it to the anti-God. And that's what they have been diligently, desperately trying for the longest time. But now it is by force, at any cost. So they have taken shelter in both places, but then to unscrew it. Okay? But if we look at the values of those who are spiritual, godly, and follow God's rules, then they awarded me protection of some kind. The anti-God most recently, the Saudi meet, was very much over there. Rear door entry, the people missing, amongst them was the anti-God. He has also shapeshifted maybe for SKF's team. You one of the 9. You have one eye small, one eye big. You have worked in my house. You have worked as Salman Khan. You work as Bezos also. You one of the 9. So the people missing at that meet, what they were doing only they know. The most recent, plus that man's hand gesticulation when he's met that lady with her husband in the 5-star, or nice opulent convocation wherever they are greeting people. That also is another sign, not a good one. You go and look at the video and see what reference is being addressed. All I'm saying is they killed somebody over there. Stealth mode. So you have to just look into the matter, be safe, be vigilant, and just hope for the best. The reason I am making this reference is because of this. This is a problem factor who messed with, wore the skin of this, has worn the skin of the ATS. SL has worn the skin of the ED. He has come on the ET of the ED and then messed with the ED also. तू उसको ED बुलाता है? तेरा ED messing around with the ED था कहीं ना कहीं पे दूसरे देश के अंदर. So anyway, NTR has to be very careful. Just give me a minute. So we will go with the pendulum and take the pendulum's permission whether yesterday when I asked, the pendulum wanted me to continue the session, but just as a check, I will check again if the pendulum wants me to continue with the session. She said, I will not give you immunity. You keep your immunity to yourself. I will not give you immunity when I go to the spirit realm. There I'll also bring you to book. And that is of more justifiable reasons. So you play dirty games with people, I'll also teach you in time to come. Not only me, many other people. Okay? Many other souls. Okay, so as long as you understand this is the yes, that's a no. The full board may not be there, but then you know that's a no and that's a yes, right? So let's just start. Hello Dolly, are you here with me? Who should I say I'm speaking with? Rohika? Chagla Mistri is over here? Or whoever 20 people who shapeshift for Rohika Chagla Mistri? Rohika Chagla Mistri, the original. MC Chagla Mistri's granddaughter has moved to the afterlife, left the human body in 2013. Shirdi Sai Baba sent her from this community in the afterlife. For her forward journey, she's gone to complete some stuff. So she's moved on. Okay. The 20 shapeshifters for Rohika Chagla Mistri are still in their body. They're on earth. Rohika Chagla Mistri is one of the shapeshifters in the body. Rohika Chagla Mistri's husband, Cyrus Mistri, Patsy Perrin Dubash's son. From the womb, not sure, but her son from childhood. That boy is in his human form today. He's in his body today. Is that boy Rocky Fernandez that you are referring to? Rosie Fernandez's womb related, birth related son? But Rocky Fernandez, Rosie Fernandez, is Rocky Fernandez Rosie Fernandez's womb born son? Just the way Rocky Fernandez is born from the womb of Rosie Fernandez, is Agnello Fernandez also born that way? Do they have any brother called Anthony Fernandez? So they are womb born, at least Agnello Fernandez and Rocky Fernandez are womb born from Rosie Fernandez. Rosie Fernandez was the secretary at JAYA.ADVANI and Company and Kani and Company, which is my father. I'm the older daughter. My father, Kani Advani, brother of Kailash Hingorani, and then got married to Vital Malia in 76, widowed in 83, yet once again. Kani and Company and JAYA.ADVANI and Company are Papa's companies for paper business. K.T. Shahani, our relative, gave him a go down. Akhil Shahani, the grandson, had a problem getting his go down back. Was it because of Kani Advani and Kani Advani's daughters? Was it because of the shapeshifters? Was it because Tanaji, the Hath Gadi Wala, was squatting on that land and adding to the confusion because he knew about the shapeshifters? Perhaps somebody from his community had been shapeshifting in and out of homes, hired to create confusion in other people's homes. So Cyrus Mistry, womb born from Patsy Perrin Dubash. an Irish lady. That lady is still in her human form. The womb mother of Cyrus Mystery is still in her 3D form, in her physical body. That lady who's gone into the afterlife, Patsy Perrin Dubash, womb mother of Cyrus Mystery, that lady is the mother-in-law of the real Rohika Chagla Mystery, who has also left her body and gone into the spirit realm. In short, the real Cyrus Mystery, womb born from Patsy Perrin Dubash, is actually a widower. With 2 sons and more. Don't know the exact count. So Rocky Fernandez is womb-born son of Rosie Fernandez. The other womb-born sons of Rosie Fernandez, at least one for sure, is Agnello Fernandez, maybe a Tony or an Anthony Fernandez, and one sister. This Rocky Fernandez and his brothers, womb-born to Rosie Fernandez, have they shapeshifted for Cyrus Mystery and messed around at Shapurji Palunji, as well as United Breweries Kingfisher? They are friends with Sanjeev Lekhraj, who is not Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj. Is that the same group of people? Connected with them is Kira, the Pakistani spy. Do I work in their network? Do I work in their network? Have they ever told me what they're up to? Have they stolen from me in some way? Amongst this lot, have they misused things connected with Mr. JAYA.ADVANI, and have they stolen from JAYA.ADVANI's older daughter, or Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani's older daughter, called JAYA.ADVANI, who's holding the pendulum over here? Breaking my locker and stealing stuff from my locker a few months before Mr. JAYA.ADVANI passed away, or in the build-up of 1.5 years of Mr. JAYA.ADVANI passing away, was the work of this lot. They had a shapeshifter shapeshifting for Mrs. Anita Merchant during that time, connected with this dance drama lot, as well as Binu Sadrangani also was shapeshifted for. So are they responsible for breaking off my locker in my bedroom with my clothes hanging in it, with my educational qualifications? This is the bunch responsible for the stealing. The Misdemeanor by Kira, who was shapeshifted for Kiran Merchant, Sanjeev Lekhraj, Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj, Rocky Fernandez. 1.5 years showing how they were misbehaving with the old Mr. JAYA.ADVANI at 4 Jaswell while I was at 1401 Suman Towers. I talked about having 3 near-death experiences. All of it was aired to file name Cat, who was holed up at Vichumbe Kamote. Is that the same as Rohika? Was Rohika holed up at Vichumbe Kamote? let's just say MC Chagla's womb related granddaughter was Rohika Chagla, in fact 1 hour away, kept as Mrs. Anita Merchant 2011 mid onwards to 2013 at Lonavala, in the Lonavala bungalow called Prashanti Nilayam. At that very same time, file name Cat, was she at Vichumbe Kamote for 9 years. Raped and murdered finally in February 2018, the same time that I saw the white light on my cupboard. She had come almost immediately on her murder. Her murder happened because she lost her temper based on 1.5 years or 1 year of being aired whatever these fucks of poor quality were doing. At 1401 Suman Towers, playing loud construction sounds at my home. That's because that's where file name Cat JAYA.ADVANI, who went to Fort Convent School with me, that's where she was kept. Did they do this because my sister used to complain that the sanatorium plays very loud music and it is echoing in the society grounds and disturbing the peace? Did they do this because Jamna Bai's daughter-in-law married to Raju, a drunkard? Jamna Bai was an old Kamwali Bai who used to ghusofy bartans. She was squatting on the common grounds. Her son got married to a girl called Alka. Was it Alka or somebody else? Whoever the woman is he got married to, she was doing business from those society grounds, sleeping with for money with auto rickshaw drivers, drunk auto rickshaw drivers. This is why they did what they did the way they did it. So it is a domestic help category of people supported by some very incompetent people connected with politics. Maybe not even actually homegrown Indians. Maybe a Middle Eastern Pakistani agenda that supported them. Is that the complication? Rocky Fernandez, Sanjeev Lekhraj work for those kind of people along with Amrita Lekhraj. Amrita, Sanjeev Lekhraj works for Congress. She's been part of their youth congress. Does Sanjeev Lekhraj have a hand in the pulling off and off the grid Sonia Rajiv Gandhi, the legally wedded wife of Rajiv Gandhi, who is the womb son of Indira Gandhi? Did they take her to Palakkad? Joining her later was her womb related son Rahul Gandhi. Sanjeev Lekhraj and maybe Rocky Fernandez don't know, but Sanjeev Lekhraj for sure has shapeshifted for womb related Rahul Gandhi, womb related son born to Sonia Gandhi, wife of Rajiv Gandhi. Did Sanjeev Lekhraj, an outsider, not even the real Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, has he in the mess shapeshifted for Rajiv Gandhi's wife Sonia Gandhi, her womb related son Rahul Gandhi? Have they hobnobbed with some very horrendous criminals with no ethics, but more than criminals, incompetent people in politics, not even homegrown in India, from a dearth of prosperity land like the sand dunes, somewhere impoverished in the Middle East? Are those the kind of people who infiltrated and were brought into India with an idea of breaking it up, and so then they get better lifestyles over here, but they are being run by the anti-god? Is that what it is? Is Shambhav E, who was the womb-related daughter of S.M. Krishna? Maybe not. Was she? Anyway, who was brought up by S.M. Krishna? She got married to my cousin Umesh Hingorani. Is it true? Is Shambhav E. Hingorani Married legally to my cousin Umesh Hingorani. Is she still in her physical body today? She has to be brought up at Sadashiv Nagar by her father, who grew up in the Mandya district from infancy. Is that girl in her human form today? Is she Vicky's sister? Does she have an older sister who grew up in a similar manner called Vicky? Was Vicky married to a man called Siddharth connected with Cafe Coffee Day? So Vicky's sister brought up from infancy at Sadashiv Nagar by a man who is a CM of Karnataka for a long term, Mr. S.M. Krishna, his daughter. He himself was born and brought up in Mandya district. His daughter was brought up at Sadashiv Nagar. He had two daughters who were brought up. One daughter got married to my cousin Umesh Hingorani. That girl is in her human form. Her name is Shambhav E. Today is she in her human form? Her sister Vicky is in her human form, who was brought up at Sadashiv Nagar. Is she in her human form? So both daughters have left the human form. My cousin Umesh Hingorani, he has left his human form, as you said it earlier. That's why just want to know from you. Has the womb-related son of Kailash Hingorani and Mohan Hingorani, he's my cousin. His two sisters, Pramila and Shimona, are my cousins from infancy. They used to hang around Fort Jaswal at the time I was an infant. That cousin brother of mine, born in the year 1969, has he left his human form? He's with you in the afterlife. Vicky and Shambhav E, S.M. Krishna's, let's say he reared them in Sadashiv Nagar. They have shapeshifters for them. Those shapeshifters are connected with Amrita Sanjeev Lekraj, Rocky Fernandez. They have shapeshifted in and out of Kaushalya Gupta's home also, and Subhash Gupta's home. They have messed around with the entire network of Koshi Gupta and Subhash Gupta. The other miscreants have messed up with the network of the Hingorani family, S.M. Krishna's network also. SL, who is Sanjeev Lekraj, who was a shop boy, we don't know what his real name is. He is born in Palakkad, or he's connected with Salem, Palakkad, somewhere, that place. That chap is responsible for taking Sonia Gandhi off the grid. That chap shapeshifted for Rahul Gandhi later on. That boy is born in a Catholic family or a Christian family in Kerala. That boy is responsible for the murder of the real Sanjeev Rajan Lekraj. He knew about it and he shapeshifted in his place. That boy, Sanjeev Rajan Lekraj was murdered in 1995. Then the Catholic boy who is called Sanjeev Lekraj, from 96 onwards with other people were shapeshifting for Sanjeev Rajan Lekraj. This boy called Sanjeev Lekraj, who is actually a Catholic boy or a Christian boy but an atheist in his belief, from Kerala, Palakkad and Salem. That boy has won the ET of the ED, Enforcement Directorate, in the past and messed up understanding of who's the culprit and who's not the culprit. Like him, Rocky Fernandez also has done the same thing for the ATS, RSS, maybe for SP also. SP being the womb-related son of Patsy Perrin Dubash, being Cyrus Mystery. They have just been wearing and shape-shifting and wearing ETs on screen. Or then even in person when they meet you, they're disguising themselves. They're also getting their biometrics changed. On dead people, this is all their crime. They have been confusing intelligence. It is my duty to put it out this way, the way they have done it, so that intelligence can just look into the matter. Okay, so this is what I had to do. I have done. Now, I need to ask you one thing. Am I wearing a navy blue t-shirt? So I'm not wearing a navy blue t-shirt. I'm wearing something like this. Okay. Okay. Now, do you want me to still continue with this read? Is there anything more in this read that needs to be addressed, which has not yet been addressed? So we will come and go ahead and do the read. Just give me a minute. I need to ask you some questions off camera. Okay, so to continue with what we left off at, I have finished my lunch. It was a really good lunch. So we're continuing at 2 in the afternoon. Okay, we'll do a little bit of this. Then I will go off to watch some TV and relax a bit. Maybe in the evening a little more can be done. She says this must go on. Something to do with a spa. NTR. Doctors and RF. Or maybe it is NTR spa, where a doctor has, after he has gone to the spa or at the spa, he has met a doctor. That doctor is actually RF, who was shape shifting for the doctor. He wasn't the original doctor. Because RF took the PAN card, nahi bol rahi hai, she's saying the identity of the doctor of the ATS, the way SL put on the ET of the enforcement directorate in a conversation with somebody sometime in the past, and over there confuse something, whereas the real IG, the real DGPs, the real Congress states people, BJP states people, many of them, their bones have been thrown somewhere else after getting rid of them. I get worked up when this starts jumping extra. So I really do prefer that they stay little calm. Okay, anyway, doctor passed NTR at that point in time. He has crossed paths with this chap. That's all this is trying to say. Actually, that was Rocky Fernandez pretending to be a doctor. If radio frequency has anything to do with this, IR has anything to do, you just look into it. NTR has to genuinely be careful. Why will you nap in a spa? I don't know, SS is to do with steel or a metal something. A metal structure of some kind. So if we think about the Fernandezes, they say there are 3 children, 3 boys. So there is Rocky Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez, and Anthony Fernandez or Tony Fernandez, not sure. But these are the 3 Fernandez boys for Rosie Fernandez. They have shapeshifted for, so Rosie Fernandez, Rocky Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez, and maybe Tony Fernandez. Shapeshifted for a doctor. And at Shaparji Palunji, and are planning to do the same thing now for NTR, or has already happened. He's already crossed paths with him. Something related to a time when he has gone to a spa, something to do with metal. A doctor passes him, but that is actually RF checking him out for the next attack, or how he's going to get into his house. Dar is not something that is nice. You please see the last 2-3 clips, how it ends, what is the problem. So even when it comes to Rohika Chagla Mistri, what I said in the shape shifting, when a husband has been pulled off the grid in 2006 mid, the shapeshifters, amongst them there is a compulsive, obsessive compulsive kind of a disorder, or somebody with a head problem who I think energetically is not liked by most people. He gets into his kink, then he's any which ways working in the shadow, difficult to find out, plus he is one of the ones who are standing in for somebody else's identity. His mind gets triggered, फिर वो गलत कर्म करता है औरतों के साथ after removing the husband. तो according to me उसने ऐसे ही कुछ किया है. He's the toxic guy probably who has entered number 4 Jaswell also. where at that point in time, whether it's the daughter-in-laws complaining about toxicity or the daughters of the house not understanding the word is toxic but saying something is wrong, something is not okay, this guy could be behind it. So if NTR is still around and has not yet been attacked, then you be prepared that, and he'll be very bad with the women in your house. So let's hope you're still safe and sound, that you have not already been pulled off the grid. Then the women of the house have to be extra strong. There are no two ways about it. This is saying the same thing. Rocky Fernandez, according to my understanding, is the oldest of the boys. Agnello could be the next, Tony the youngest, not sure. This guy was he around for the RRR shooting? The successful movie. NTR was in it. But RRR came out how many years ago? That is the time when I said कि Ramcharan जो है, earlier when I was watching the movie, not to insult Ramcharan, I don't get anything out of insulting you. That you get out of your headspace. If I am saying something and I have to say it openly, otherwise you people are going to be washed out. You won't even know how. तो जो छोटू वर्षा के घर पे काम कर रहा था in 2005 after Sharanya was born, but that was not Varsha, because my own sister JAYA.ADVANI file name Cats. Luckily she was not successful at all. She was pulled off pretty soon. She wasn't getting along with the crowds and her journey was completely different from what ultimately clicked with the Indian crowd in the same brand name. So that boy was working at Varsha's Deep Towers from the time Varsha moved into Deep Towers, but Varsha was in her in-law, whoever was playing Varsha was in her in-laws house at Mera Sadan for the first 3 to 4 months before she moved to Deep Towers with her baby. So if the baby was born in May 2005, this girl moved into Deep Towers I think only at the end of 2005. She was still coming and hanging around. That incident that happened where Sharanya was crawling, crying on the floor, and the girl who entered our home very agitated with Varsha, actually Varsha's identity, who it's calling her Ruhika Chagla Mistri, who's looking probably for her husband. I don't know what she was trying to find out, but she was very aggressive, and it's not something that happens between Varsha and me ever. That was in the first quarter of, no, between May, June, July, August of 2005. So Varsha was there. So she was in South Bombay. So she visited her father's house. Coming to South Bombay from Andheri is generally much lesser. With the baby, then she will come in if she's staying in her in-laws house, but that started in 2006. So initially when she has produced her baby, she's staying 20 minutes away from Fort Jaswell in her in-laws home for the first 6 months. When she moves to Deep Towers, this boy Chotu goes with her. He's with her for 1 year, then he leaves. ये दुर्गा चालीसा करता है. But it is his face that was being put as an ET on Ramcharan's face. When I was watching TV in my small room, which is today a laundry room, it used to be the tarot room and the TV room. The smaller room in this 2 BHK apartment. So I said, 1 minute, how is this face showing itself on Ramcharan's face? This is very strange. And at that time they were playing all the drilling sounds. very heavy drilling sounds for no rhyme or reason. No, making a mess of my home. And via IP address, even powdering my house where that girl takes 4 hours every day sitting and cleaning out the same mess. Misdemeanor, messing around with my entire setup. And they were doing it on purpose from 2019 onwards. Rather 2020 onwards. So when I saw this face on Ram Charan's face, I said, wait 1 minute, again there seems to be a red flag. But how to say it, right? Without insulting somebody. So anyway, I'm saying this has happened. You please take cognizance of it. You, your family, NTR. Whatever I have seen in Bollywood in the 1990s, I am seeing for last 2-3 years in your Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. This is a short sign. The same rats have entered. They will use the same ploy. The receiving end to you and your family will end up being. So if you are getting some kind of a hint, rather than being the moth, why don't you be the flame? You have enough evidence actually to catch them, nab them. I don't know if you're supposed to understand this. This boy is a very badly behaved boy. He was doing this in Goa, Hathi Mahal also, which is the first time my body had been plugged with something connected with AI. The cause for connecting me to technology in some way, the IP rerouting also was done by the miscreant. Walking on the floor like 2 dead people, wearing the ET of 2 dead people, the face is unrecognizable. Walking on the floor like he's calling Akhil Gupta, late Akhil Gupta. So he walks onto the floor like Akhil Gupta, stands like late Mr. Kiran Merchant. Face unrecognizable. But known, those 3 boys, at least one of them known to the girl who was working in my home. She's a maid, one of the 4 who have shapeshifted for Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy. Only after I have returned from Bombay early 2022, and all the nonsense has started for the RC, giving the exact address of where I'm at, giving that signature. The post coming here and the post going back from this address. After that, everything has gone wrong. But that was sent to Mr. Kiran Merchant. But that is supposed to be Kira, the Pakistani spy, with his key people plugged in key places in Bombay. They know what the shape-shifting nexus is. And if they don't know what the nexus is, they know about the shape-shifting. This bad behavior of farting and smelly farts, ये हाथी महल पे भी कर रहा था. A very badly behaved man. So for Mr. JAYA.ADVANI at Hathi Mahal 2014, same place where I say Koshi auntie, if she's a VIP, they literally come and say, come. They themselves escort you through a different line and you check in and you move on quick. But if you don't have that and you're a normal person who's traveling economy the way I do it, and many times Koshi auntie too, then we stand in the line. We are not, traveling by harbour line, central line that we need to cut lines and go grab the ticket, get a firing from. Lines and lines in km. Before we reach the ticket counter, no, we just wait. It's okay. Economy, you wait a little, you wait till your turn comes in and it's okay. We've done it from childhood. This one had to skip the line at security and skip the line for check-in also. There are people waiting. No, she wants them all out of the way. She wants to go first. ये habit कहाँ से आता है? My aunt never had it. It reminds me of those who cut lines at the railway station, more specifically Central Railway and Harbour Railway, all the way from Ray Road to Panvel. So this has got to do with that. When it came to my father, there were two men at Hathi Mahal. According to me, they had involved drivers also. The ones who are the miscreants connected with the IP address ka rerouting, whoever is the CBI, ATS, who else should I say, CID, Indian Army, whatever is plugged in my body is by the miscreants, the shapeshifters. वही confusion factors है. नाम हमने already ले चुके हैं कि culprits कौन है. So when it comes to my father, Mr. JAYA.ADVANI and Hathi Mahal, I तो just feel they were two men. एक था यंग जो बहुत फार्टिंग करता है, इज अ वेरी इलिटरेट काइंड ऑफ वेरी ऑब्नॉक्शियस काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन. For one night there was a man who was very sick. He can't even eat on his own. He has to be spoon fed. He was there for one night or 2 nights. I think 2 days, 1 night. That was another man. We stayed at Hathi Mahal for 7 days. South Goa, it is supposed to be a timeshare property connected with some holiday resort, maybe the Mahindra holiday resort, that kind of a thing. Timeshare. So all this nonsense has started in and around that time, at least when it comes to artificial intelligence, throwing voice around, connecting the body without asking permission. The same miscreants have misused the leave license agreement. For it requires a POA. If I'm going away to New Zealand to study, then I cannot have, it's my real father. If it is my real dad, I can't have him stuck from New Zealand where I'm going to be signing. It costs money also. Why to do it? If I can give a POA and I don't know it as a student, if I get a good job over there, why I'll return? No, I'll settle over there as long as I can. No, then just to sign a leave license, why I need to return? Better to do a POA from Hiranandani's office. We have done the POA. Hiranandani has trained at DM Harish's office. They are proper lawyers. Kochan Advani. You go into the history and find out what kind of lawyers they are. They are no wishy-washy advocates picked up from outside, I don't know what kind of, waiting to do little legal work outside the civil courts. Not those types. You find out what it is. Got a power of attorney given, but then that I'm being told was misused as an MOU. You think my family will do it? You dare call me Benami. The way you have played it, sympathy game, crying, you get something, फिर उस पे भी थूको. Useless. Don't ever equate the garbage you are with my setup. Taking face is not good enough. अब जब तू ब्रह्मांड में उतरेगा, नंगा नाचेगा, that time you will be in black and white for what you are. You don't make it over there, understand what crap you are. Understood? And get out of other people's faces, get out of other people's homes, stop stealing and pretending to be things you are not. तुमने एक ATS का चेहरा पहना है, ईगो पहना है, डॉक्टर का पहना है. You are screwed around in the Shapurji Palunji setup. You're now planning, or you have already done an NTR setup. RRR got over when? So don't do that and don't equate yourself with me. Understood? जन्म और वूम जहां से तू निकला है, जो सामने से तुमको परवरिश दिया है, when you were shitting your pants, pissing your bloody nappy, at that time you can't manipulate, but जिसको आना है तुम्हारे लाइफ के अंदर वो आके ही रहेगा. Go with that and don't fuck around with things that don't come to you naturally, and when you need to take, you need to grab. Don't do that. TN? Don't you dare call me Benam Benami. My mother has cleaned my shit, wrapped up the piss. Maybe Rosie too, I don't know. Depends where I shat in the passage. Jo kuch bhi hai. My dadi too would have. After all, when I am still crawling, I am still a baby. Bottle fed. So they chose to look after me. What was your mother doing at that time? She was working as a secretary. So don't mix it and don't call me Benam Benami, because I'll kick your ass in the afterlife. I'm not the only one. All those who are part of my community, many with whom you have done lots of wrong things, they are waiting to kick ass. Tu nanga घूमो वो भी नंगा ही है, और नंगापन में ही तुमको नर्क भेजने वाले हैं. Don't ever forget it. You don't fucking ever forget it. समझा क्या? चीप सस्ता माल. Anyway, this is talking about, I have a feeling it is about RATF. Shape shifting for SP and the doctor, maybe. As the doctor crossed paths with NTR, connected with some spa during the shooting of RRR, don't know. Connected with some metal structures, SS, steel. He's very badly behaved. The other thing that I get over here is arts. We take out arts and we get fan. Fan is like dar. So you know the story of fan? तुमको फैन के बारे पता है? फैन मूवी क्या है? Both movies are of Shah Rukh Khan in different years. One is in 1993. The other one was in 2014, 15, 16 sometime. When was fan taken out? वहाँ पे the duplicate is always spoiling the name of the original. You just have to wear it on your sleeve, right? But you've been fucking around since the 80s, I think 87 onwards itself. And 2006 तो लगता है क्या हक्का छीनना कमाई होता है. Jetli is the one who has said we can go where we want. Says who? Then you have not understood the spirit laws. You leave अद्वैत बन के नंगा हम सब घूमने वाले हैं, including you. Yet वहाँ पे भी 15 लोका है. You go to your own realm. You can go where you want. You see if you can get out of it. वहाँ पे अगर यहाँ पे सिखाई जो है उल्टा पुल्टा करके कुछ भी कहेगा, कुछ भी करेगा, किन से भी कुछ भी करवाएगा, then there is only one place for learning and living the appropriate way according to the spiritual laws. Then if that is the kind of living within which you are able to do what you're supposed to do in accordance with the spirit law, then so be it. It's okay. RSS has physical training. They wear shorts. Do you have some physical training that used to happen? So apparently the fan guy who has spoiled the name of the stars is somebody who has done physical training and was part of RSS. You go back to your own structure, you see what kind of people are enlisted with you. Just because you are part of RSS, BJP, Congress does not give you the freeway and the highway to get in and out of people's homes and industrialist homes or then high ranking official homes with forced wanting to convert things in India. All that you will be construed for with bad karma. फिर तुमको करना पड़ेगा. तुम्हारे ये जन्म के जो प्रॉब्लम्स है वो और भी बढ़ता जाएगा. वो तुमको चाहिए तो करो, but don't blame other people. No, take responsibility for your own actions. You are no हिंदुत्वा, you are राष्ट्रीय something. समाज सेवक बनेगा, लेकिन समाज सेवक बन के घर में क्यों घुस रहा है दूसरों का? फैन जो चीज़ है, वहाँ पे जो शाहरुख खान जो एक स्टार है, एक्टर है, वहाँ पे एक डुप्लीकेट जाके शाहरुख बन के जहाँ जहाँ जाता है चीज़ों को ख़राब करता रहता है. असली स्टार के लिए इतना घटिया वो है, वो स्टार के वाइफ के बेडरूम में भी चला जाता है स्टार के चेहरा लेके. तो जो कुछ भी मेरा कंप्लेंट है और जो पेंडुलम भी कह रहा है तुमने किया है या किसी ने किया है, कंफ्यूजन रचा रचा के इतना बेहुदा कि इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट का चेहरा ईटी पेन के उसने कंफ्यूजन रचाया है. आईजी को निकाल दिया है, डीजीपी को निकाल दिया है. असली जो पहले वाले कांग्रेस लोग हैं और बीजेपी के लोग हैं उनको निकाल के पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ से लोगों को धकेल दिया है, यहाँ वहाँ पता नहीं किन किन के घर में, किन किन के घरों में, और कैसे कैसे लोगों को निकाल के. वो जो हड्डियां हैं जो हमको मिला है सऊदी के रियाद के आउटस्कर्ट्स. रियाद तो बड़ा सिटी है, लेकिन सिटी के अंदर नहीं फेंक दिया है. जो सैंड ड्यून्स होता है आउटस्कर्ट्स, मीलों दूर चलता रहता है बस सैंड 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 ड्यून्स. और जो वो उमैदियां हैं वहां पे जाके फेंक दिया है आउटस्कर्ट्स पे, जहां पे सिर्फ एंडलेस ट्रैक्स ऑफ सैंड ड्यून्स, रेती ही रेती, उसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं. तो वहां पे जाके फेंक दिया है. दैट इज व्हाट माय रीडिंग इज इंडिकेटिंग. हाउ शेमलेस इज शेमलेस. PT is physical training. TP is time pass. So your Sushant Singh Rajput also is coming in over here, right? I'm just saying, NTR, if you're still in your body, just be a little careful. These guys are raking Tamil Nadu, and they probably already finished with Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. You will please tell Apollo Hospital to be careful. I think they have already been infiltrated by nefarious people. It goes back to 2000, I feel 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. Usi time pe. Their founder father is supposed to be, I don't know, the pendulum was saying problem hai. Let them do a proper Reiki. They are medical people. They will know how to. Either we are all going to drown. Also, one more thing. I'm saying if there are infiltrators who have come Rio to entry last 25 years, knowingly with the idea of grabbing, I can't crawl over the border. Given my personality types, I think I'd have fitted in Europe pretty well, America pretty well. I'm kind of a misfit here. I don't know what the problem is, but I just leave it. I don't mean to demean anyone or insult anyone, but I don't know. So I just leave it. All I'm trying to tell you, what went off in my head while having lunch, when I was thinking aloud, what will happen is your employment opportunities, the actual Hindus of India will have a problem with employment opportunities if these people block from the Middle East, Pakistan, South Africa, because they're the ones who have been crisping themselves and getting to countries and then moving from this country to foreign countries as Indians, but they're not Indians. What will happen is the Indians in India only will have a problem getting their jobs. On the surface, it will look like employment is happening, but the ones who get the employment are part of the nexus. The ones whose businesses are functioning are part of the nexus. Till the time of one generation passing and they get very, very comfortable in their skin, it is only at that time that they will show their true colors. By then, it will be too late. The power shift will have happened. How do you identify and get rid of such a problem for this nation? My suggestion is do ask every individual family. In there you will find out my DNA could be Spanish. I don't know if she's telling the truth or she's lying. I don't know. But I would suggest that the DNA of every household and the engineering of it, the unengineering, the unediting of it happen. Then where you feel that there is a gap in the unediting of the genes, genomes, DNA, you take a call whether they should stay here or they should be asked to leave. I think it is very important if you want to keep the safety net, otherwise you're going to be washed out, according to me. And exactly precisely the way I have said it. So my reading brings in the word of siege. Seize. Seize are two things. CEASE and SIEZE. कब्जा, किसी चीज का कब्जा करना जो तुम्हारा है ही नहीं, जो है हक का है ही नहीं। चाहिए तो जन्म से आओ ना, नहीं तो अगर यहाँ पे कुछ कमाई करना है लीगली करो, खुद के जो वूम वाला आइडेंटिटी है उसके साथ करो। इट्स ओके, नोबडी विल स्टॉप यू। But you know where the problem is? The problem is when you fool people. So I really do feel that actually if this country wants to, India, if it needs to protect its own people, then I think gene editing is a good thing, unediting is a good thing. Like how coronavirus, everyone had to take a shot. पैसा खर्च होता है लेकिन करना पड़ता है. It's a safety net. Karvao, then you can decide. Otherwise, I'm telling you, your jobs for the Hindus will go. It'll go into the hands of not the Americans, not the Europeans. Into those who have infiltrated this country, crisping themselves, gene editing themselves from the neighboring countries. Kerala's Labour guy who goes to the Middle East is more prosperous just by the flora fauna. Sweet water, vis-a-vis the ocean. The coconuts from the palm trees, the vegetation that is available in his garden, he can keep his boat going. He goes to the Middle East primarily because either he wishes to have a tidy sum of savings to support him for an outcome in the future. It could be a sister's marriage, could be his own marriage, could be just a saving issue, it could be the question of buying a house. That's why he goes for quick money over a couple of years. But over there also he's not happy. He says, no, give my passport back, and he wants to go back home. There it is found that the gap between the recruitment, the need for developing the sand dunes, if everybody who comes over there has a free ride and then needs to go back home, it is then a loss for the construction company. So then they become little heavy handed. And yes, they cannot give you, in those days the internet was not there, they cannot give you a preview of it, they cannot give you a tour before you decide whether you want to work over there or not work over there, right? So it is a problem on both sides. Was there a scuffle? Did somebody lose their life? But then it becomes a United Nations issue. It becomes a protocol on a world level where we are talking about world peace. Now who's going to say, oh, there was a scuffle and somebody lost their life? He was he came to do some work in the labor class. Who's going to be able to say it? Nobody. Replica is okay. If this happens with a couple of people, or say about 100 in so many people who go over there, if their replica come back into India and go to the original man's home, compared to the sand dunes, isn't this prosperous? Without having understood that जो घर की मुर्गी होती है, the chicken of your own house is equivalent to the poor man's dal. But the man who comes from another land and sees, hey, 1 minute, here there is lots of prosperity. The man doesn't know how to commercialize it. But I know now the difference. So I will do the commercialization. तो क्या बोलते हैं? Finders, keepers, losers, fools. According to my understanding, this only could have happened. Also, given that the sand dunes is a barren place, it needed development from the 70s. Even when Mr. Vijay Bala is talking about how they have so much money because of the oil rigs, their money comes from a natural resource, but their own people spend the money and ask other people with the brain power to work for them. They have the money to throw, which comes from their natural resource, which is the oil rigs. Not everybody can be the king, yet everyone wants to live like the king, right? So the ones working at the oil rigs, working at the construction site, is living a life exactly diametrically opposite to the king. But the king having the money, then he realizes, hey, 1 minute, all the money is being spent asking people of other communities, other lands to come give their brain for the development. So what does he need to do? He spends a lot of money on scientific research. How he can make his own people up to par with what is, let's just say, the brain thinking power, abilities globally. Plus he has huge amount of money. He is not really that answerable to anybody because he is the king. But then the king is again lonely at the top. One king with so much money is, if set aside and the money taken, how much development can be done with somebody else's money keeping the king aside? If the king is kept aside, how much research can be grabbed? According to my understanding, something of this sort only has happened in the background. When it comes to India, since so much has already transpired, to stop loss, probably the best thing, and to ensure that the jobs stay in the right hands, given that this is a Hindu nation. Not that it's a Hindu nation, it is a diplomatic, democratic nation, and it should stay that way because in that is prosperity. But to ensure that rear door entry, you are not kicked out of your own homes, which is an eventuality given CEASE, SIEZE, and the last one was what? SIEGE on the back of it. CRISPRing is the name of the game, and gene editing the name of the game. If one man has gone and has messed and put his own biometrics on PAN cards of somebody who's in the RSS, someone who's a doctor, somebody's had the cheapness to go and talk wearing the ET of an ED. Where did the ED man go then? और ये लोग ED बोलते हैं, EIDI. इनका ना हर मतलब ये लोग निकालते रहते हैं. तो एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट वर्सेस द ED. You talk in your Arabic voice over here. You were sending voice over here. Last quarter of 2024. I have nothing against you because I don't even know you, and that's okay. I'm just saying everyone needs to be safe, prosperous, content. We cannot have rats ratting away the way it is written over here. RATS, that also on other people's God-given wealth. Now, SSR is supposed to have lost his life. Sushant Singh Rajput. वहाँ पे भी कंफ्यूजन बड़ा है. और किसने किसका ईटी पहना, किसने किसका चेहरा पहना, सच्चाई क्या है? TF is Tony Fernandez or Anthony Fernandez, Rocky Fernandez and company, Rocky Agnello and Tony Antonio Fernandez. Is he connected indirectly? The same bunch of people connected to the SSR case? Or is it something to do with the RSS? One thing I want to put on record is whenever the topic of Rocky Fernandez, Tony Fernandez, Rosie Fernandez, Cubs comes up, these people mess around passing lots of rude comments in my home. That means they are miscreants, they're listening into my home. With what right? It's not your business to listen to my home. With what right do you pass cheap comments at my home? It has happened many times, more specifically on Cubs' identity. But Cubs has been, Kabir Gupta is my cousin, he's late Mr. Kabir Gupta. He has been shapeshifted by a man who had to be called Cubs. but it is putting that to the Fernandez family as one of the shapeshifters for my own cousin called Kabir Gupta, who is late Mr. Kabir Gupta. So you are keeping an eye on my home along with Kira, the Pakistani spy. My life is supposed to be in danger because of Kira, the Pakistani spy, along with SL Sanjeev Lekhraj and Amrita Sanjeev Lekhraj, who are not the original. At least Sanjeev Lekhraj is not Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, cousin of Laveen Lekhraj. That boy was murdered in Bangalore in 1995 towards the end of the year, is what my pendulum insists on saying. Aarti has joined hands with these people, Fernandez, SL. Unfortunately, my mother's niece has joined hands with the wrong kind of people. I am not part of that setup. I follow the rules and regulations properly. So I will not be giving with wrong activity. Bartila is my maid servant from ages ago. She has worked in my home as a full-time maid with 100 conditions for how she has to be sent to the convent, how she has to live, what work she will do. All that is in the list for which we have to go interview, and then if the convent agrees, they give her to come to work in our home. It is all in black and white in writing. What you want to do with it? At the same time she has worked in my home, she has some other girls who have worked, one in the marketplace at Marine Lines, two other girls working at Liberty Cinema owner's home, opposite my home. They work for our homes. Using bloody SATA drive, useless bloody nonsense crap, changing equations. How dare you do that? You get it by birth, or fuck it, man. No time for your bullshit. ऋतिका जो है, ऋतिका का लाइफ जो गया है, एसएल के कारण गया है, इन लोगों के कारण गया है. Something to do with IR, which is remote control. SL has gone on record about how he closes and opens some neighbor's TV with a remote from far away, and the TV goes off in somebody else's house and they don't know where it happened from. He has said this in those last 2 months of the 5 months that I was supposed to be married to Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj. That's another bloody hint. So listen, CID, ATS, CBI. If you are actually Indians and you are not infiltrated, then take cognizance of what I am saying. I've been trying to say from the longest time whatever I, from my experience, have actually as live experience. I'm just lucky I'm still in the body, at least till now. तो कोई तो है ना जो कोई और सोचे we are मुर्दा, but we are not मुर्दा, we are actually alive. So far so good. तो at least we can tell you ना ऐसे है. तो you can then plug it together. So either this is something to do with RSS or SSR. तो डान एंड यार्न जो होता है वो टेल टेलिंग होता है. So maybe he created some yarns and done while he was shapeshifting in Shapurji Palunji's home, pretending to be Cyrus. लेकिन वो Cyrus था ही नहीं, वो ये लोग हैं. शायद उसने दान किया है SSR बन के, RSS बन के, शापुर जी पालन जी बन के, शेप शिफ्टिंग करके। तो RSS का इसने पैन कार्ड हमको कुछ मिला था ATS के साथ, SP is तो given. Then as a doctor, when he has cross paths with NTR, you're understanding who the culprit is. So I think it could be SSR, RSS, यही जो है रैट शायद है। RF एक तरफ से और TF उसका भाई दूसरे तरफ से और AF बीच में। Maybe that's what it is trying to say. Let me ask her on the pendulum what she wants to say, if I've understood it. Okay, so anyway, we have to see every permutation, combination, and then those who do investigation or are doing investigation, on the ground investigation kare, don't get fooled by ETs and shapeshifters. Now, to be able to have your biometrics done to somebody else's PAN card और आधार कार्ड, तुमको हेल्प कौन कर रहा है और कहाँ से? Surely not because you are shape-shifting into the parliament as one of the, or some shape-shifters over there are not your friends, but they're shape-shifting for the key ministries. Middle East. नहीं तो तुम्हारे बायोमेट्रिक्स किसी और डेड मैन के ऊपर, वो भी 4 लोग और 5 लोगों के ऊपर कैसे हो सकता है? Simple question with a simple answer. Are you with me? Okay, I didn't offer you anything today in the afternoon. I only gave you one sad mango because the mango is not the mango I thought it is. But anyway, I'll give you something nicer later. Okay? What I'm trying to tell you, I have to try every permutation combination, otherwise how I'll come to a conclusion, right? I'm trying to understand, did Tony Fernandez shapeshift at SP? Being Shapurji, Palunji, Cyrus Mistry and Patsy the Bash, Perrin the Bash, their home by birth and by womb and by marriage, legal, no stealing, Did Tony Fernandez, Rocky Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez, Rosie Fernandez's children, did they shapeshift in and out of that setup? The term rat is for me. Am I prone to doing rat behavior? I have to ask about me because the pendulum needs to answer, need to understand totally. So, Jaya.ADVANI is a rat. Jaya.ADVANI shapeshifts in and out of other people's homes with the idea of stealing. First and foremost, does Jaya.ADVANI even go to places where she's invited to legally with RSVP? Most times, Jaya.ADVANI is not interested. The one holding the pendulum over here. Small talk is very boring. That makeup on the face and the plastic smile is something that doesn't go down my throat very well. Okay, now what I'm trying to understand, you say Rocky Fernandez, Tony Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez have done some wearing of somebody else's ego skin connected with Shapoorji Palunji. Have they any connection to the Sushant Singh Rajput case in any way? They have some connection to it, direct or indirect? They have owned the skin of some RSS person also. The RSS is connected with physical training. Okay, Jaya.ADVANI is the rat. The holder of this pendulum is the rat mentioned on the board. Is there any connection to ratting and being a rat? Is it indicating the RSS in some way? Let's just say RSS by womb. So you get a birth, you join the RSS. Is that who's the rat? Cyrus Mistry and Patsy Perrin Dubash and the rest of their family members are by womb and by birth associated with or born into the family of Shapoorji Palunji. Are they the rats? The guy who worked in DAR, SRK or then SP, is he the rat? Are they the rats? Rosie Fernandez's children, Tony Fernandez, Rocky Fernandez, Agnello Fernandez, are they the rats? Or connected with some movement of the rats? It's not just them, but people like them. Have they been doing the ratting? That means them and their associates, including Rajkumar, whose brother has worked in our home for 18 years, 15 years. The first time that there was a stealing at Jaswal, for Jaswal also, and soon after Chandok's house, was when there was an overhauling of the staff of the building at Jaswal Cooperative Housing Society. That happened in 97 sometime. So that had connection to the ratting. And whoever was willing to get educated with the idea of using skills for ratting going forward. Are they my social network, this lot? Do I hang out with them socially? Are they naturally by whom my background? Are they people actually employed at the bottom of the pyramid to work in homes and offices legally? at least for societal purposes? Is there association with me on the level that they've been employed at the bottom of the pyramid to do the work on a salary? Is that a fair description of events of the past? Did the idiot say some Rocky no carb, some nonsense of that sort? If he's saying that I work for Rocky, is that true? Was that Hijra telling the truth? Rocky is an ex-employee's son. Is that the equation? And an ex-employee of Kani Advani and ex-Mrs. Anita Advani for Kani and Company and H.G. Advani and Company. Is that the equation? Rajkumar is an ex-employee directly hired by me at number 4 Jaswell in 2018-19 sometime. So he was cleaning 4 Jaswell on a pay and a salary. That's the equation. His older brother Ladka was doing that for 15-20 years or 15 years safely. Every morning he comes, cleans for 1 hour and goes. That's the equation. He's employed. He was employed, ex-employee on a pay. Kira hired these kind of people. Kira is a Pakistani spy. He has won the ego and the ET of Mr. Kiran Merchant. Mr. Kiran Merchant, the original, who my mother got married to in a second marriage. Is he in his human form today? Is he in his physical body today? Did Mr. Kiran Merchant, late Mr. Kiran Merchant, exit out of his physical body in 2009? Was he murdered in 2009? Yet I say I found problems in his personality 2007 onwards. Something different. And I mentioned it to whoever was being my mom on the phone, except that calls were probably being exchanged. So if there was anybody thinking they're talking to me asking for help, they weren't talking to me. They were talking to the fucking interceptors. And that's how you started recording evidence. All crap. That's the time from when you started recording evidence which is all crap. Maina Maya is saying Binu Vadi Kundi aaye. Paison ke liye. But Binu Asi is already gone to the afterlife. Shilpa Sunil Anil also are no more. So blame Binu for your wrong activities in a recording which goes as evidence to whom? The listeners. All your dance drama started 2006 onwards or 2003 onwards from Suman Towers days. And it was purposeful according to me, evidence that is manipulated. Otherwise stories of the 70s suddenly in 2003, 4, 5, 6 तुमको कहाँ पे जताना है आउट ऑफ द वे जाके जो चीज़ इतने टाइम के लिए हुआ नहीं है सडनली उसका तुम जिक्र क्यों करता है निखिल को तुमने क्या बोला है निखिल अडवाणी यू कीप कॉलिंग हिम अ पिगलेट नोज बट इन माय हाउस दैट हैज नेवर एवर बीन मेंशन्ड यू स्टार्टेड ऑल दिस नॉनसेंस ओनली आफ्टर 2004-5 sometime and you've said it at least 5-8 times. Why were you doing that? So you were recording shit on purpose with a very nefarious intent. shaking hands with very shitty people, with no ethics, no morals. But you had to get my home only to fuck around at? Yeah, your D runs these boys. But they are your source of information for all. You get your cues from them when they are wearing and their shapeshifters, like SL are wearing the ET of the ED and talking on a screen and on telephony, giving you all the information, sending you faxes. How much time of yours they have not wasted, and where have they sent you spiraling? On the other side, parallelly, what all damage has been contributed to where which sections of society. You do the counting. In 2008, when the movie got to see Great Ho, where Alia, who's your PC, Piggy Chops, Sohail sends her, no, Salman Khan in that movie is playing the role, but SP's already been pulled out over there. Or maybe he did little work over there before he was pulled out, mid 2006. That movie released 2 years afterwards. That means the shooting of it happened without SP being part of it. वहाँ पे सलमान खान कुछ अच्छा गिफ्ट बेचता है, साड़ी वाड़ी and things like that with a nice message. That message gets stopped. The sari changes into a flimsy bikini, and the message that Salman Khan has originally sent via SMS gets converted into a very lewd, cheap message. By the time it reaches PC Alia in that movie, that is only a movie and just a scene over there. But I'm saying that was just giving you a hint of what they've done in real. Everywhere. Okay? Primarily because of his backing, they were able to shapeshift this way, this way, this way. And the ATS and the doctor, NTR has to be careful, find out whether he is okay or not okay. I think you better be very careful also when it comes to the police force and the ATS and the CID and the CBI of Hyderabad and of Chennai, which still seems to have it together, hopefully. You have to be really, really, really careful. It's like driving a Fiat car. If you have managed to overhaul something in Bombay, that's like driving the Fiat. One of the best police forces for the longest time. But if that was managed to be messed with, तो फिर इनको unscrewing काफ़ी अच्छी तरीके से आता है. So they have studied psychology. They know everything that is trained. They also know how the loopholes come. They work keeping all that in mind. They also understand that you're looking for complexities. You don't look for the simple hint given to you in every movie. तो ये हंसते हैं. So once you've understood it, you've understood the style. It'll be easier to catch. That's what I feel. The more simple and under the face, the more it is not looked at. Because everyone's trained to look for something much larger and wider, right? And every now and then they do something like a one-off, but for them that is a message. The actual messages, I feel, for a very long time has been in the movies somewhere or the other, in their network, where they are putting it up in the IP address, if you know, in hidden conversations, whether it is specially printed newsprints, or then when you're surfing and then hidden in articles. So here there is D rent SSR RSS SP D rent TF RF AF, all from the same family. Have they used him? Misused his setup also? That would be really sad. Is AD-ADVANI? So the raft keeps you floating out of the eyes of the intelligence. So you do the misdemeanor behavior hiding out in Advani and Advani relatives, Shapoorji Palonji and their network. RSS and SSR gets affected. All the advice given to all the people who are intelligence is twisted like a pretzel and then given. SL wears the ET of the ED and gives the advice. But at the same time, the DGP, IG, some people from Congress and BJP, and God knows who are the who's who, those bones, connected with EU also, end up on the outskirts in those vast sand dunes. But then isn't it that what was said about taken in droves and left in the middle of nowhere to die by not Beenu Masi, BEENU, or then Anu, ANU. Beenu is Beena Sadrangani. Anu is Anita Merchant, or then ex-Mrs. Anita Advani, whose divorce papers you stole from my locker when you stole the real property papers of Fo Jaswal and of Sumantas, breaking my locker, wearing the skin of my sister and my father. In a household where RSVP for lunch and dinner is taken a week in advance, you're going to break my locker and convince me my dad sold my shares without even asking me when he can get a simple signature from me. You can't make out the difference in the quality of the behavioral pattern or the understanding of things. You don't play fucking sounds under my body. Rats. Don't do that. तुम SM बोलो मत, क्योंकि SM जो है, it is saying Cubs has shape shifted for Mr. SM Krishna. Cubs is connected with the Fernandeses. Fernandes has shape shifted for Kabir Gupta, who is no more in his body, is what I am told. Late Mr. Kabir Gupta, along with late Mr. Akhil Gupta. The guy who came on this floor was wearing the bloody ego, walking like Akhil Gupta. He has walked down the stairs. It is very much in the video. From the 19th floor, he's come down to the 18th floor, walked like his grandpa's bloody fucking property, gone to the IP center where the router is, kept open, not even under lock and key. Gone, rerouted it with his bloody fucking mobile. Stood over there like dead Mr. Kiran Merchant. They are able to wear the ETs only if the man is dead. तो हफीज शायद का ET अक्षय कुकरेजा ने पहना था हमको लगता है आज रेट्रोस्पेक्ट में, because in those days I didn't even know there is a Hafiz Syed and what he looks like, no clue. Today in retrospect I'm saying one version of Akshay Kukreja on University of Waikato grounds. If you look at him, he's clean shaven. We have gone to the botanical gardens of Hamilton and he is okay, but I say there is little similarity in the face. But he's won the ego, I am told, and the ET of Hafiz Syed, who's supposed to be dead. So that means this man was dead when? In 2000, before 2012 itself? Then the next time I see this boy called Akshay Kukreja, he has stayed as a student on University of Waikato grounds, doing his hotel management diploma or 2-year degree or what, I don't know. He was there for a longer time. He was at Edinburgh before that, studying. Another girl who was, what's her name? Sujata, I think is her name. I can't remember her surname. From Bashi somewhere. She knew him in Edinburgh. They are all students at University of Waikato 2011, 12, 13. He has stayed at Orchard Park as a student. But there is a time when he is looking like Hafiz Syed without all the beard and all of that. And then later on, after having spoken whatever as a student, later on he looks straight through me. But here he is of a build where his face is very fair. His body is very properly, how do you say, he's worked out properly. Before he's flabby and fat with a baby face and brown skin. At the very last time that I've seen this boy, he's fair skinned, he's well muscled, and he walks with a swag, but for all the talk that he has done, he looks right through me like he doesn't know me. So there is definitely a question of shape-shifting, there is definitely a problem. Zillion% sure. That is though as early as 2012. At Hamilton, New Zealand, where I went to do 1-year diploma of marketing. At University of Waikato, where the teachers are giving me all bad marks. जो टीचर हमको अच्छा मार्क देवे, A+ देवे, A देवे, क्या हमको वो टीचर को मार दिया when during the semester break. Yeah, they all went for his funeral. With the next teacher, who is Dr. Richard Barry, he puts me in such a shitty group. Group presentation के लिए none of them ever meet. They never discuss the project. Directly they come to do the presentation. All of them do such a shitty presentation that my mark grades come down to D level. Then go to Dr. Richard Barry in his office after everything is over. जाके उसको बोलूँ कि this is my mark sheet and I'm thinking I want to do PhD. He says, but you know you haven't crossed the cut mark for doing the PhD. But your group presentation, they did the wrong thing. Do you want me to give you grace marks? I say no. If I take grace marks from this man today, he's the one who put me into a shitty group. Now he'll give me grace marks. Then every MBA that I've done from QUT, you'll say no. That also is what? Stolen stuff. I told him no, I'm not interested. Let it be. Group presentation. You are the teacher. You should have known what it was. But you put me into a group. How many papers you've written as a PhD and a doctor? So if you had to be bent this way because your co-worker, another professor, lost his life giving me the appropriate A+ for the paper presented to him. After all, I've done my MBA before. I have worked in the marketing field. I've done economics. I have done commerce, accounting. I have done report writing before. So why I should not be so good? And if not so good, but I'm not a DD, CC. But that teacher got into trouble. So anyway, I want no grace from nobody. Okay? The rats basically have been rafting themselves, keeping themselves above water in his house. This is one cover, this is one cover, this is one cover, this is one cover, that's one cover. And messing around with everybody. Not to mention some doctor also. अब जब पीएचडी के बारे में बात करूं, ये पी बोल रहा है. You tell me how we are tolerating this nonsense. Then I will want to go to the bathroom. Then they will pass some cheap comments. Another way of looking at it, he's used the doctor's home RSS का setup, I feel, more than SSR. AP Tamil Nadu as a hiding out raft for now. I think you better be very careful. I'll say it a zillion times. Okay, I'm going to close this session now. I'm going. It's a Sunday afternoon, nearly coming to 4. So we're at 3:30. Today also we've woken up at 10:30 in the morning. I really don't want to wake up so late every day. Whole day goes late. Okay, so Sunday 15 June 2025, 15:30 we're shutting this, 15:40. Okay.